Hey guys, Arash is here. I hope you guys are doing well. So, as a guy who has been a bit, I'll be honest, it's not been very successful in my life. The way I myself, matter of fact, before anybody else wanted or deemed success to be, if you will, um, that is educationally and in terms of my aspiration for having some kind of I'm trying to say that maybe there's more into than just pure wanting to biasly making this something against women. This or anything else might be, but I want to share with you like interesting observations I'm personally, like for my part as a guy who's been trying to get involved with girls. I can make you. I live in America for the last 18 years. I've traveled a few times back to Iran. Being an Iranian myself, I had a lot of interaction with Iranian girls, being in US, in Iran, born in America, born in Iran, vice versa. And I can tell you for the most part that it's a very pathetic scenery because a lot of these girls, I don't know, what I'm trying to say is, to begin with, this is the theme of my video basically, that is, whatever as a, if you will, as a collaborate forces led to this phenomena. That is a whole different topic to try to discuss. But basically, one thing I know, I don't understand why women, they feel like they're in a position where they can literally snub you, they can control you. And I think really, speaking of which, it's funny, now that I think of it, I think really a typical woman who really she wants to be, and I might rephrase myself, it's not really a woman. I think it's both men and women, human race that is. They're really not looking for a accomplished person that is intellectually. What they're really looking for is a boy, or rather somebody that they can mentally dominate, dictate to, yet with the perks of that person at the same time being able to be materially successful. That's what they're looking for. If they run into somebody who they find intellectual, that is like a big red flag for them. No. Fuck no. I don't want a guy that I want to fucking look up to my life. I don't want a guy who challenges me. I want somebody I can fucking rule over. And the same thing with guys. It's just a fucking sick human nature, as I've come to see. And all these fucking bullshit story of these ideals and divine and glorious things about relationships and romance is all fucking fairy stupid tale. Maybe back in the day there was some successful or some exemplary exemplary examples of it, exemplary incidents, basically showcasing that. Well, come on, I mean, we live in America. A prime example of is a fat boy, a spoon in a mouth boy called Donald Trump that fucking, he married a supermodel who, apparently She was like 26 years. 20 is he like 24 years or 26 years older than this woman Melania? I forgot, but think about it. 24 years of age difference. You know? I mean, that's kind of sickening. That's just like, oh my god, just for the fucking fact that he's got money, right? Anyways, now Donald Trump is actually, you know, for his, as fucked up that guy is, he's a smart guy, I think. I mean, he's got an interesting vibe into him, actually. He's not the only guy, but I mean, you know, for a man of his rank, that is, you know, having inherited wealth to him. That's another whole story to talk about. But, you know, like, I want to give out examples of what I've experienced when oftentimes I've been like holding a conversation with girls over the phone. Very abruptly, they would tell me, "Oh, you know what? I have to go eat lunch right now. I have to go eat dinner." And like, when, you know, I just feel like, what if, like, if I really want to try this out. I really want to try this out and see what would be a reaction, because I know now oftentimes, you know, as a guy, you might not do anything, and just to fuck with your head, the girl would just ignore your messages, or she would play it like she's ignoring you, snubbing you, just to fuck with your head. But so I know this is gonna happen anyways, but I want to know that if, just for the fucking fact that I get to the point that I know my point is right, I want to be like a, you know, a bug, and I want to ask that chick who fucking, I tell her, oh, you know what, like, I want to do the same exact social experiment, like talking on the phone, and suddenly tell her, hey, you know, I'm sorry, I gotta go eat my lunch, yeah, and yeah, and not even say talk to you later. Like, I mean, I don't understand, like, how is this that, you know, if I'm starting to talk with a chick, you know, even I might be wanting to go to work, that is, you know, I might be on a clock, or have some important things to do, I'm actually willing to put that energy to talking to her, and putting all that aside to value her and make her feel so, you know, valued. And how is it that, you know, when I'm talking to a girl, she doesn't feel like that? And she feels very comfortable, you know. Oftentimes I had this experience, and I just had to, I had to, like, act like this is like a very normative thing. I'm sorry, I just don't understand it. Like, what kind of a relationship is that gonna be, like, sacrificing for somebody? I mean, that just sounds so fucking, I mean, maybe, like, well, what I'm saying is that obviously we don't feel the same towards each other. Like, you know, I can understand. Matter of fact, maybe in a way I have to applaud them for feeling that way. Because, you know, hey, you know, guess what? Food is important. You have to eat. And you do have to eat on time, you know, throughout the day. You have to have a good way of taking care of your body. That is actually very important. And I think there's a lot of secrets and things that actually, as a guy, I don't know. And definitely as a guy who fucking puts people ahead of himself, I don't know, or I don't want to know, because that was never been my agenda, to taking care of myself first. It was always first to take care of them, whoever they've been my sister, my family, potentially somebody I met, guy on the street, a girl on the street that I saw they've been fucking in a compromised position. I thought maybe there's something I can do to help them. Anybody that I ran into, if I thought there's something I can do for them, I put them first. And I never thought of what is going to happen to me after all. So, yeah. But, you know, I really just, for the heck of a social experience, or like so many other things, like, you know, oftentimes, like, you know, like I said, snubbing you, like, don't even give you a reason, or even tell you, hey, I will call you back later, you know, just hanging up the phone, you know, without anything, you know, just having a very abrupt conversation. Like, it's just like everything centers around the chick. Like, you have to literally, as a guy, you have to lick up to, you know, how do you say that, kiss up to her, you know, like, you have to be the product that she wants. you know, and there's no fucking, and if you ever raise a question about, you know, trying to have some sense conversation about her behavior or things like that, you know, they're just gonna throw something and be like, nah, I don't think, you know, that just bringing something that is just as in just a stating some thing and just walking off from that conversation and be like, no, what, you really actually want an answer from me? No, I don't have an answer for you. Funny is that I just I guess a lot of us had this thing in our life, and there's this guy, there's two black guys, you know, they're actors. They used to play in Matt TV. One of them is Keegan, I know that. Keen or Kian or something like that. I have to look it up. But, you know, funny is that I just watched a sketch from them where they were portrayed being in a college, and, you know, one of the guys is actually making some statements and talking, and the other guy, just to try to be, you know, fucking, you know, cool, all he does is just, you know, he turns his face around, and in a very repeated funny, you know, pattern, he just makes one word, like awkward, yikes, you know, like these, you know, catchphrases basically to get the attention, I guess. And it was very interesting. Towards the end of the conversation, this guy, you know, he literally, when he's trying to fucking turn around, he tells him, no, don't even look that way, don't turn your head, don't, you know, talk to me, tell me what do you think about what I just said, you know. And he just does the same thing again. So towards the end, you know, he actually puts his hands around his head and tries to fucking control his you know, his, what's the word for it? This compelling thing in him to try to turn his head, to try to control him. And he holds his head straight, says, tell me an opinion that you have about something. Actually, tell me how you think about something, anything. And this guy at some point, you know, breaks it down, says, you know, I don't have an opinion about anything. You start crying. And he says, you know, I just go with the popular culture. You know, I mean, there's so much into it. The fact that, you know, women now get to have a high education and jobs without doing it. I hate to say that, but I think it's a very interesting phenomenon. Like, it's a very interesting phenomenon. I think certainly there's a lot of advantages that girls and women have over men. Like, you know, the fact that, you know, they go on a dates. This has been the coolest thing that happened to girls, like getting all kinds of treats and being at the free ride, being at a fucking going on a date, shopping, gifts, you know, all kinds of crap from guys, different guys, simultaneously even, you know, trading one for the other, you know, that helps them out in any ways they can, selling themselves off, you know, pornography, you know, fucking posing pictures, modeling, you know, all kinds of shit that guys are like, what? I don't have a fucking chance at these things, you know, and I don't even feel uncomfortable doing it, even if I had to look for it, you know, just because you just don't feel, you know, you're a man, you're masculine, you don't want to be like an object of people's stares at you, you know. Like, you know, that's just, you know, normal guy doesn't want to even do that kind of a modeling, you know, or, you know, in that sense, I guess. So many different ways to explain it, you know. I'm just saying, you know, I think women literally, they climb much easier than men to education, to anything. They get to dress like a slut, and they get that attention. They're narcissists. They get away with their behavior because you can't talk shit. I mean, just speaking of the same comedy thing, it's funny is that they were showing this same guy as a comedian, as a black guy. You know, he turns himself in behaving like a white guy. They're basically swapping interracial husbands, basically, if you will. And he plays the roles of the same one, actually. But the thing is that basically, so it's funny. He's in a bed with his wife of the other guy, supposedly, and he just says, "Hey, good night," you know, I don't know, Latasha, something like that. And he doesn't raise the issue like, "Hey, you want to fuck maybe?" You know, because that would be just wrong, right? And the chick goes like, actually says to him, this supposed swapped husband, you know, says, "Hey, do you want to have sex with me?" at some point, that when she says that, he goes like, oh, I would love that very much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, it's just like, if a guy wants that, that would be totally fucking wrong. You're a bastard. You're a son of a bitch who's trying to fucking, not only you trying to get some bitch to have sex with you. Now, I hope, a lot of people understand that I'm not that kind of a mindset that, actually, I'm totally against this whole fucking loose version of relationships in America, where I don't understand how is this phenomenon even possible, both on women's and men's side. But thank God, I'm glad that happened. And actually, I'm glad that it's happening more than outside just America and other places, because it just proved that women are just as fucking, dogsome and animal shit, just like men, even worse. There's a chance as a woman sleeping with more guys than a girl, because, you have to work yourself out, to get a woman to sleep with you. But a woman doesn't have to do anything. You just have to try to, play the game to, get somebody to pay more and more, to get them to compensate you what you deem as sufficient, or as much as play the game that, they're willing to pay you to fucking, have with you. So, do you know what I'm saying? So basically, and the thing is that, yes, up to prior to feminism rise, or the development of accomplishing feminism, or popularity, I guess, becoming a pervasive thing, that is, yes, this was a man who was to be able to do that. They had the wages, they had the money, and they could go and do that. So, and the women were portrayed at that point as divine goddesses who were always so faithful to their husband, to the very cheating fucking, what's the word for infidel husband, or I guess, that back then, it was only one way of doing it, a marriage, pretty much. And they were so fucking angelsome and so forth, holy. And when they were actually allowed to do the same shit themselves, now we see red pills, all that crap, where we are right now. It's like, dude, bitches are the same fucking thing. It don't matter. There's nothing inherent about them. If you let them, they will be worst version of men. So don't tell me women are necessarily any better than anybody. And they're cool about it. They don't give a fuck. They don't feel a dime over a damn of fucking, guilt or shit about it. This is how sickening on top of everything else it is. Alright, take care, guys.